All right. Let's see if that works again. Great Sky Troll, what's happening, brother? Can you hear me? Are you here? Sorry about that. I had to restart because everything wasn't working properly. Now it's working properly, I think. Okay, functional 5 out of 5. That's excellent. Excellent news. I'm glad to hear it because it was worrying me there. All right. And my computer decided it was going to update itself. And when it did, it installed some kind of update that was not compatible with my computer, and my computer crashed. And the only option available to me was to reset my computer, which means I get to keep my files, personal files, but everything in Windows gets reinstalled, which went my settings, my plugins, all of the little favorites and things that, workflow things that make things faster that I had set up over 2 years, gone. It took me 2 days to get everything back the way I thought it should go. But, I learned how to do all this stuff as I was going, so I had to go back in my memory and remember what I did here and there and there to get everything working again. And so I missed a couple things, and we're working the bugs out right now. But as it turns out, I got it close enough to perfect that we can live stream, so that's good enough. And if everybody can find this new live stream, we're good. Says we only got you watching. April hasn't come back yet, so we'll see. I do apologize for the interruption. I didn't do that on purpose, but it had to be done. Oh, there's April. Okay, excellent. So we're back. We're in business. You can hear me fine. Everything's good. Nothing seems to be broken or not functioning. I got an excellent condition on the YouTube side. We're good. All right. Anybody got anything to say before I get started on Numbers chapter 14, verse 5? Let's get it started in here. Got to get it rolling. Got to get that number rolling, baby, rolling. Rolling. A little breath mint so I smell nice and minty. My lower third seems to be frozen. Go away and come back. See if you can do it again. You can do it. There you go. The perils of working with a computer that's too old. It's always something. I'm going to littleize myself. Duck. And now I'm going to attempt words. That is way too big. What has happened here? That'll have to do. How's everybody doing? Say something. Let me know how it rolls. This should be big. There, that's better. Jake, listen, I'm out with the boys. We're going to eat. Well, listen, that's what you're supposed to do. Great Sky Troll's hands are full. So I'm here all by myself. That's all right. Ain't like I need you or anything. I need you, baby. And we're discussing where to put the hot tub. Oh, out spending money, are we? Well, that's good. Nice to have a hot tub. All right, for those of you that are interested, get your Bibles out and turn to Numbers chapter 14, verse 5. We have been listening to the children of Israel whine and complain to Moses about, life not being so sweet and smooth as they thought it would be, and they'd almost rather go back to Egypt and be slaves, because at least there they got fed regular and had a roof over their head, not understanding that they're working their way towards the promised land flowing with milk and honey, which is promised to them by God. They'd rather be under the Egyptians. So Moses has a thing or two to tell them, and we're getting into that part. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel, which means that they fell down and cried because of the dumb idiocy of the people, the moronic attitude that the children were having. And Joshua, the son of Nun, who turns out to be a great warrior later on, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, there it is, Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes, they tore their clothes in disgust, they were angry. Seems kind of dumb. Clothes are hard to come by in those days, but that's how they expressed their anger. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it, it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into the land and give it to us. The land which floweth with milk and honey. What more could you ask for? What in God's name are you whining about? You want to go back and be a slave so you can get a hamburger? We're going to give you all this, and that's what you'd rather have. Only rebel not ye against the Lord. Don't rebel against the Lord. Don't turn against him now. Neither fear ye the people of the land. Don't worry about the people that are in the land. God will do away with them. For if they are bred for us, their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Fear them not. Meaning, if they're to be given for us, the chosen people of Israel, if they're to be our subordinates, then God will set all this up. We are not going to have to fight those people. We're not going to have to defend ourselves against them, and their defense will be none. We'll just walk in and take over, because that's what God wants us to do. So fear not. But all the congregation bade stone with them stones. They want to kill them all. Don't kill the people. They may be useful. And the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. God has heard enough. He's going to come down and handle it himself. And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? How long are you going to let them run their mouth? How much of this am I supposed to take? And how long will it be ere they believe me? What have I got to do I've led you by a pillar of fire in the daytime, at night, and a pillar of cloud in the daytime. I've provided you quail to eat and manna. I've protected you. I released you from the bondage of Egypt. I split the Red Sea so you could walk by on dry ground. What is it going to take for these people to believe what I'm telling them? To understand, I'm going to keep my promises. And I promised you a land of flowing milk and honey. So what is the problem here? I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them. and will make of thee a greater nation and mightier than they. I'll start all over. I'll wipe the slate clean, kill them all, and then we'll start over, and I'll make an even greater nation for you. And Moses said unto the Lord, Then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. So, you want to kill all the people that you just saved from Egypt? That doesn't sound too intelligent. What if they hear about it? Then they'll laugh you to scorn. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou, Lord, art among this people, that thou, Lord, art seen face to face, and that thy cloud standeth over them, and that thou goest before them by daytime in a pillar of cloud and in a pillar of fire by night. So this happening, the fact that God is leading these people has spread around. People are hearing about it. They know about the nomads going through the desert, and they're a little worried about it, to be honest with you. So now you want to kill them all. What will they think of us then? Is what Moses is saying to God. Now if thou shalt kill all this people as one man, then the nations which have heard of the fame of thee will speak, saying, Because the Lord was not able to bring this people into the land which he sware unto them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness. Now that's not the kind of publicity you want, God. You want these people worried about you. You want them thinking about you. You want them knowing that you keep your promises. You want them knowing that you're capable of handling what you said you were capable of handling. You don't want them to find out that you couldn't deliver these people, so you killed them all. That's not good business. And now I beseech thee, let the power of my Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, The Lord is long-suffering, and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. That's the God I want to know about. That's the God I want leading me. I don't want the God that gets mad and kills everybody because they're not playing fair. You don't want to play in my sandbox? Fine, I'll kill you. That's not the God we want. We want the powerful God who keeps his promises, who suffers long for his mercy, and above all forgives sin. And that's the God we have. He just needed a little reminding in the face of all that bickering and whining. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according unto the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt, even until now. And the Lord said, I have pardoned according to thy word. He's saying, okay, you got me. I understand. I know I promised you, and I'll keep my word. I just got a little angry. But as I truly live, but as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. Yes, it will. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me, now these 10 times, they've been bickering. 10 times they have went back on God. So it's not God's fault. Don't think that. He's not that impatient. He's given them 10 chances already. And have not hearkened my voice. They have not listened to a word I've said to them. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers. Neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and hath followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereunto he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. Tomorrow turn you and get you into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Go around to the side where the Canaanites and the Amalekites live, and come up by the sea. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, How long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. say unto them, As truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do it to you, you carcasses. Your carcasses shall fall in the wilderness. Hey, brother, good to see you. Troll. He's talking to Troll, not me. And all that were numbered of you, according to the whole number, for 20 years old and upwards, which have murmured against me. All these people from 20 years old and up that have been running their mouth constantly since we left Egypt, they're not going to get into the land of milk and honey. They're not going to make it. They will die in the wilderness. Mark my words, said the Lord. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein. Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun, those are the ones. Save them. Those are the ones that are going to make it into the land of milk and honey. Not you guys. You have run your mouth too much. Been too much trouble. More trouble than you're worth in some cases. But your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in. And they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in the wilderness. Your children will make it. I'll make sure they do. But you're not going to make it. You foolish, vain people who give up freedom for the chance at prosperity. That's all you're worried about, is getting that next hamburger. When I've promised you all of this, well, mark my words, buddy, you will not see it. I'll make sure your kids are taken care of, but you're not getting there. God is hot, let me tell you. I told you I'm listening. Love you. I know you're listening, honey. I'm with you. Keep right on listening. I'll be right here with you. I'm very tired and sore, by the way. I've been going crazy today, running like a chicken with my head cut off. Hey, Diego! There's a Diego. I thought I spotted you. And your children shall wander in the wilderness for 40 years, and bear your whoredoms, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. I'm going to make them walk, your kids, in circles until you have rotted away till dust. That 40 years, that's how long it takes. Coming in for the Sunday Bible study. That's excellent, buddy. I appreciate you. After the number of days in which ye searched the land, even 40 days, each day for a year. Took you 40 days to walk there and back, so I'm going to make you walk there in 40 years. Shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. You'll know what happens when you go against your father. You'll know when I break a promise, because I'll make you suffer for it. And the only reason I'm breaking it is because you would not stop running that mouth. I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me in the wilderness. They shall be consumed, and there they shall die. Mark my words, you will not see the land of milk and honey. You will die in the wilderness on the way. Your kids will make it, but I'm going to confuse them and make them walk in circles for 40 years before they ever get there. Thanks to you. And the men which Moses sent to search the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him, by bringing up a slander upon the land, by talking bad about the land they just came to find. Even those men that did bring up the evil report upon the land died by the plague before the Lord. Now those are the men, in case you're wondering, do you remember when the spies came back and they were bringing the big thing of grapes on the pole, and they told the people of Israel, man, those people are like, the sons of Anak are like giants. We're like grasshoppers to them. Well, that was a lie. Those boys were giants, but by no means unbeatable. They were just people. They're just big boys, you know. But they weren't like grasshoppers. That was a lie. They were trying to scare the people to not go there. They wanted to turn them back to go back to Egypt. And they died by the plague before the Lord because of running that mouth, telling lies when they shouldn't. Moses sent them out to spy the land and bring back a fair report so that he would know what he was getting into. Instead, they came back and lied about it. And I told you then that it was a lie last Sunday when we read it. This is the proof of that. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, I can't say that word, which were of the men that went to search the land, they lived still. Those guys, they didn't tell lies. They were head of the party. It was the other guys that were with them that were telling the lies, but Joshua and Caleb survived because they told the truth. And Moses told these sayings unto all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. They mourned the passing of the people, even though they were liars. And they rose up early in the morning, and gat them up into the top of the mountain, saying, Lo, we be here, and we will go up unto the place which the Lord hath promised, for we have sinned. Well, unfortunately, buddy, that's not good enough. God said you're not going to make it there. You can't change it now. You've already done the bad deeds. Now you have to suffer for it. And Moses said, Wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord? ? But it shall not prosper. Even now, you're transgressing the commandments by forcing your way into a place that you're not supposed to go. But it won't prosper. You'll not make it, I promise. Go not up, for the Lord is not among you, that ye be not smitten before your enemies. Just hold off a minute. Don't go rushing up there to the mountain. He's not going to be there. He was there when I was there, but he won't be there when you get there. And if you keep going against God, you're going to get smoked by your enemies before you die in the wilderness of natural causes. Best thing you can do is just live your life the way it's going and hope for the best. I am very concerned about what is happening in Israel right now. When done with the Bible study, I want to talk about it. Yes, sir, we certainly will. There are some things happening in Israel right now, but fear not. Regardless of how bad it looks, God is in control, and we will talk about it after the study. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and ye shall fall by the sword, because ye turned away from the Lord. Therefore the Lord will not be with you. You understand? You're the ones that turned against God. God was trying to give you the promised land, and you turned against him. You murmured against him. You ran your mouth, and now God's not with you anymore. He's already withdrawn his promise from you. So you're going to die. You're not going to make it to the land. Now it's up to you whether you rush in there and get killed, or if you live your life out wandering around in the desert with your children. That's up to you. But take my word for it. Don't go rushing in there because God's not with you. You will die. But they presumed to go up unto the hilltop. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of the Lord and Moses departed not out of the camp. They didn't go with them. The ark of the covenant and Moses stayed put, and these people went on up into the mountain trying to get God's attention. It's not going to work out. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites which dwelt in that hill, and smote them, and discomfited them, even unto Hamorah, meaning several miles they traversed, being smote and beat up and tortured and discomfited, meaning they separated them from their fit. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land of your habitations, which I give unto you, and will make an offering by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice in the performing of a vow, or in a free will offering, or in your solemn feasts, to make a sweet savor unto the Lord, of the herd of the flock, then shall he that offereth his offering unto the Lord bring a meat offering of 1/10 deal of flour mingled with 1/4 part of an hin of oil. A hin is a container, and a deal is just an amount. Sports update. Lightning 1, Chicago. Blackhawks 2. 5 minutes to the second. Go Bolts. 5 minutes to second period. Go Bolts. And the 4th part of an hin of wine for a drink offering shalt thou prepare with the burnt offering or sacrifice for 1 lamb. Or for a ram thou shalt prepare for a meat offering 2/10 deal of flour mingled with 1/3 part of an hin of oil. And for a drink offering thou shalt offer 1/3 part of an hin of wine for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And when thou preparest a bullock for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice in performing a vow, or a peace offering unto the Lord, then shall he bring with a bullock a meat offering of 3/10 deal of flour mingled with 1/2 an hin of oil. And thou shalt bring forth a drink offering 1/2 an hin of wine, for an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. Thus shall it be done for 1 bullock, or for 1 ram, or for 1 lamb, or a kid, according to the number that ye shall prepare. So shall ye do to every one according to their number. All that are born of the country shall do these things after this manner, in offering an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. This is just the preparations of how you should make a sacrifice as you go towards the land of milk and honey that you're not going to inherit. Sorry, you ran your mouth too much. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord, as ye do, so he shall do. That means if you have company, they need to do it too. 1 ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you, an ordinance forever in your generations. As ye are, so shall the stranger be before the Lord. 1 law and 1 manner shall be before you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you. Now this is talking about sacrificing, but obviously it's talking about more. It's talking about the law. The law of Moses is 1 law, 1 rule for everybody. Not rules for thee, but not for me. Rules for everybody. The law applied equally among everyone. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land whither I bring you, then it shall be that when ye eat of the bread of the land, ye shall offer up an heave offering unto the Lord. Ye shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for an heave offering, as ye do the heave offering of the threshing floor. That's where you make the bread, where you separate the wheat from the chaff and turn it into flour. So shall ye heave it. Of the first of your dough ye shall give unto the Lord an heave offering in your generations, as if ye have erred, and not observed all these commandments which the Lord hath spoken unto Moses, even all that the Lord hath commanded you by the hand of Moses, from the day that the Lord commanded Moses, and henceforward among your generations. Then it shall be, if aught be committed by ignorance without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall suffer 1 young bullock for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor unto the Lord. Second sports update. United States National Curling Contest is May 25th through the 30th. Ice the rock, baby. With his meat offering and his drink offering according to the manner, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And the priests shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel. It shall be forgiven them. For it is ignorance. Now, this is saying in a long roundabout way the same thing I've said many times, that ignorance is not a sin. If you don't know something, you can't be held accountable for it. However, once you have reached the age of accountability, meaning that you've come to the conclusion that you know something is right or wrong, now you are responsible. Now you will be held accountable for your mistakes. If you don't know Jesus, you can't very well be held by his standard. If you do know Jesus, then it's your fault if you're not holding up your end of the bargain. And you will suffer the consequences. You have to know these things, folks. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But I'm telling you, you need to know right from wrong. You need to know good from bad. And you need to know what God expects of you if, in fact, we live in a world that belongs to him, which we do. That being said, I don't buy into all this religiosity stuff. You know, we don't have to wear special hats and say special words and do special things. We just have to know what's in the Bible and understand it, which is why we're here. And it shall be forgiven all the congregation of the children of Israel, and the stranger that sojourneth among them, seeing all the people were in ignorance. And if any soul sin through ignorance, then he shall bring a she-goat of the first year for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly, when he sinneth by ignorance before the Lord, to make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. Ye shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them. But the soul that doth aught presumptuously, that does sin presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord, and the soul shall be cut off from among his people. That's someone who sins on purpose. In the Greek, that's dumb on purpose, according to Kent Hovind. I like it. I'm keeping it. Because he hath despised the word of the Lord, and hath broken his commandment, that soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. Don't despise the word of God. It's okay to not understand it, but don't hate it because you don't get it. Know that you're part of something bigger than yourself, and give way and allow that knowledge to come to you by people like me. And I do it gladly for you, for your service. You're welcome. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. A fag, you say? Yes, that's what the word means, a bundle of sticks. You thought you had me, social justice warriors. I know what the word means. So in other words, this guy was working on the Sabbath day. He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't be gathering sticks and stones while it's Sabbath. Something's wrong with my headphones here. They're hurting my ears. Yeah, we got it. I got it fixed. How about that? And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation, and they put him in a ward. They put him inward. They put him in the crowd, because he was not declared what should be done to him. They didn't know what to do with him. They just knew they wanted him punished. And they put him inward, because it was not declared what should be done to him. So this word inward, they put him in jail. They put him in a room, a ward. The inward is separate, two separate words, in ward. It's hard to read and it's a little weird, but that's what it means. They put him in jail because they didn't know what to do with him. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp, and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses. Let this be a lesson. If you're in the camp of Israel, do not work on the Sabbath day. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringes of the border a riband of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart, and after your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring, that ye remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God. This is where the idea of the rosary beads comes from. It's a physical representation of the 10 commandments of God. It's something that you can look at and remember that there are 10 commandments and that you're supposed to be following them. The fringe that's in the borders of their clothing. It's changed over the years, but it's the same principle. And what the Lord is trying to do is, these people are very wicked at mind. They're not like you and I. They're not normal people. They don't have normal ideas and normal thoughts and normal desires. These people are whores. They're lusters. They want. They hunger for things that they have no business having. They want power. They have no business. They're hand rubbers. You know what I mean? They're grabbly. They're bad. They're the bad side of the Jews, the stuff that everybody makes fun of. That's what these people are incarnate. And God is telling them, do this to remember you shouldn't be like that. You should be like I set it up. Follow the 10 commandments and be holy unto your God. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Why did they bring him out of Egypt? To be their God. That's what he wants. That's what God wants from you. He wants you to worship him. He wants you to love him. He wants to love you. Won't you let that happen? Worse things could be, I promise. I am the Lord your God. He says it twice in the same sentence. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. This could not be more easy to understand. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath. We were talking about Kohath last week. The son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, and the sons of Eliab, and On, and the son of Peleth, the sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses, which certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face and cried. And he spake unto Korath and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. K-Midi, KJV, whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him. Yes, we know that. We're not in John, we're in Numbers. Stay with the program, K-Midi. And welcome, by the way. You're welcome here. Just don't try to confuse what we're talking about. This do. Take you censers, which are containers, Korath and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man who the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Do I sin? Yes, so do you. Don't tell me you're one of those people from that pastor that I banned a couple of weeks ago because he would not shut up while I was trying to talk about things we were not talking about subjects that we're not discussing at the moment. This is a Bible study. If there are studying to be done, we will get there. Right now, we are in Numbers, talking about Moses. Tomorrow, we'll be in the New Testament. And yes, you can sin. You are a sinner. You're wrong. Go back and read your Bible. Learn. You're sinning by being an asshole right now. I'm trying to reason with you. You're trying to disturb this community. That's not a nice thing to do. Slow your roll and pay attention. You might actually learn something. I will give you the same warning I gave the last guy. You are welcome here. We are not trying to push anybody away. But mark my words, if you cause a ruckus in my chat, I will ban you outright. You have no business telling me what my relationship with God is. That's a sin in itself. Judge not, lest you be judged yourself. You don't have a right to say that to me. Diego says, the Holy Land has always been a war zone since the Old Testament era. Ignore him, Jake. If you still sin, you don't know him, calling the word a liar. I am not calling the word a liar. I cannot sin. Makes you a hypocrite. Right. If you commit sin, you are of the devil. You are saying his word. I don't think you understand what the word sin means. And I certainly don't think you understand who the devil is and what his purpose is on this earth. Or who God is and what his purpose is. Yes, the word of God is true, and I'm trying to read it right now and you're interrupting. Last chance. Shut your mouth and pay attention, and then when I'm done studying, we can discuss this, what we're studying, or you'll get banned and you won't be back here again. This is not a right. This is a privilege. This is my house. Act with some respect. You need to read that whole scripture, not just that one verse. He's talking about something specific, and he gives a specific answer to a specific problem. He's not talking about everyone on earth at every moment of the earth. Read the whole thing. You are misinformed. And I've already given you 3 chances. One more and you're gone. You got me? Okay. Well, then I guess I'll see you there, buddy. I swear these people just can't seem to get enough of me. Ban him, I say. To the ban chamber. He's out of here. Strike. Sorry, K-Mitty. This is a school to learn, not to have you teach. Start your own podcast and tell people what you believe. Maybe somebody will listen to you. Won't be me. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. You see, Levi was separated from the rest of the congregation because they were chosen to do the work of the tabernacle, to keep it running smoothly and to keep it open and available for everyone else, and to be ministers and to be priests, and also to bear the burden of the Ark of the Covenant. One particular son of the Levi branch was burdened with that. And it is a burden because anyone who touches it dies. You can't touch it. But they have to carry it on sticks, staves, staves, so that it can go where it needs to go. And that's their job to do so. And that's the reason the Levites are separated. They're different. They're different than everyone else because they have a different job than everyone else. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also? He's already brought you near, but you want to be the priest too? For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord? What reason are you doing this? And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness? Is that a small thing? Well, that's your fault, buddy. You're the one that wouldn't stop running your mouth, kind of like this guy just banned. Just keep talking, even though you have no idea what you're talking about. You say it with such authority that it flies in the face of everybody, and nobody can learn anything while you're running your mouth. You can't hear when your mouth is opened. Think about it. Obviously, God doesn't like that. The whole book is full of it. God telling you, be quiet, I'm working, be quiet, I'm working. Okay, you're dead. Are you not following the pattern here? Because I certainly am. Except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us. Well, he didn't actually make himself a prince over you. God did. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out thy eyes of these men? We will not come up. Oh, you want it now. I see. You're not willing to do the work to get it. You're not willing to traverse the land to get to the land of milk and honey. You want it now. That's called impatience. Patience is a virtue for a reason. In God's time, not yours. You see, God works in his own little world, and he acts according to his own time. You, however, want it now, and you don't care what the reason is you can't have it. You just want it now. Well, guess what? You don't get it now. And because of your lack of faith, and because of your treacherous talking, now you don't get it at all. And now you're blaming God for that, and Moses, and anybody else you can blame except yourself. You're to blame, not Moses, not God. I'm speaking, of course, to these men, not to the people listening to me talk. And Moses was very wroth. He was mad as hell, and said unto the Lord, Respect not thou their offerings. Don't even take it. If they offer you something, don't take it. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. I'm not taking anything from them, and I'm not giving anything to them. We're done. I'm washing my hands. And Moses said unto Korah, Be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. Meet me on the playground tomorrow at noon. I'm going to tear your ass up. Meet me, or you're a chicken. Be there or be rectangular, according to Quentin Tarantino. And take every man his censer, his container, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. I mean, bring them full of incense. We're going to find out tomorrow who is holy and who is not, who is chosen and who is not. You have one day, and this town ain't big enough for the both of us. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of spirits of all the flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Get out of here. You don't belong in this tabernacle. I will not have your filth in my holy place. It's a right, it's a privilege to be here, not a right. Kind of like this podcast. It's your privilege to enjoy this session. By no means are you guaranteed to have to be here. I set this up. This is my house, and I invite you here. But if you come in running your mouth and won't follow the simple rules of don't offend anybody, and try to learn, and try to offer information that helps, like Diego here, who always has something clever to say, if you can't do that, then you don't belong here. This isn't for you. There's a whole internet out there. Go find somebody else. This ain't your place. This is our place. And we will protect it by force if necessary. By force, I mean the band hammer, baby. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. At Beef O'Brady's. And the kids will be here soon with April. They are going to sit at the bar with us, LOL. You go, man. This is America. You want to sit at a bar when you're underage? Go right ahead. Let them smoke some cigarettes, too. Be prepared for the Q&A, because the passage about Korah is one I have questions about a lot. Yes, sir. I will put my thinking cap on. Absolutely. And that's what I want. I want you thinking about these verses. When I read it to you, it's not just passing the time. I'm trying to impart wisdom from God to you through my voice. Meaning I have no part in it. I'm just the news anchor. I'm just a messenger. But God's word is full of wisdom. And if I understand any of it, and if I can articulate it properly, it's good for you. It's a family bar, no cigarettes. Oh, man. Well, I tried, CJ and Connor. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. God is mad. He's ready to burn them up like that. The only thing stopping God is the love of Moses, protecting them, shielding them from God's wrath, giving them a chance to run and get away from it, because God's ready to burn them up right here and now. And that's God's prerogative. He certainly can, and he certainly would, except for the reasoning of Moses. So whoever said God couldn't be reasoned with was an idiot. Like the guy who I just banned, who obviously doesn't understand that God is flexible. He certainly is. And all men are sinners. Don't let anybody fool you otherwise. That is straight out of the mouth of the devil saying you can't sin. Have you lost your mind? CJ and Connor have been riding CJ's new badass car all day. They are almost tired. Well, you might wear them completely out. They might just go right to bed when you get home. You should be so lucky. I think going out gives them energy. He spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the... Oh, I read that. So they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. This is not my idea, but know that it's going to be carried out, because my Father said to do so. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, all that pertain to them, all their stuff, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. What are they guilty of? Provoking God. Don't do that. Don't poke God in the eye and expect him not to respond. That's not a smart thing to do, even if you don't believe in God. It's not smart to poke him in the eye. You don't poke a bear and say, I don't believe you, bear. You're dead, you see? And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertaineth unto Korah, and to all their goods, gone. The earth swallowed them whole. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. That's what you get for poking the bear. Don't poke the bear. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. Yeah, I'd be scared too. If I just saw the earth open up and swallow a group of men, I would be hauling tail that way also, in any direction that did not involve the earth swallowing people up. Because I'm smart enough to know when I'm outmaxed. And God outmaxes us all. And there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed 250 men that offered incense. You know those censers full of incense and fire? Well, God just burned them up alive, thus proving who was chosen and who was not, who was holy and who was not. And that is the answer to the man's question, who is now burning alive. Maybe you shouldn't ask some things. Maybe you should use that brain of yours to invoke some sort of common sense. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The incense, not the people. Interesting. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar. For they offered them before the Lord, therefore they are hallowed. So even in death they have been hallowed by God. These sinners found salvation in death, but they were swallowed up in life. They were burned alive because of their wickedness, because of their treachery and their murmurings and bickerings and whoring. It wasn't just talking trash. I mean, they did some bad stuff. That's what they're getting punished for. Also, they questioned God in his own house. You don't do that. That's a thing called respect. That's a thing this world is rapidly losing. Used to know it, because things like this used to occur. And they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers, the burned up censers, wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and as his company, burned alive, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses. But on the morrow all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron again, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. Well, no, those were not the people of the Lord. Those were people directly set against the Lord. They were not God's children. Whose decision is that? Theirs. They made that decision. And these people are doing the exact same thing. Murmuring against Moses and Aaron like they had anything to do with it. Moses and Aaron didn't ask those people to rise up against them. Moses and Aaron was leading them into the promised land. They're not trying to get them to rise up against God. They chose that. Therefore, they paid the price for it. Moses just witnessed it. And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared again. Yes, it's very tragic. It's almost stupid. You would think that if you witnessed a group of people get swallowed whole by the earth, and then the rest of them burn up by fire yesterday, today you might want to keep your mouth shut. You might want to keep your opinions to yourself for just a little while. You would think. But these people are beyond the pale of ignorance. And then when they saw God appear again in the tabernacle, they didn't take off running. Why? And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And again they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them. For there is a wrath gone out from the Lord. The plague is begun. God's mad, and he ain't stopping. And these people ain't smart enough to stop. So they're going to suffer the same fate. So do something quick. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living. And the plague was stayed. It stopped. the plague that was at this very moment consuming their lives, it stopped because he had made an atonement for them. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the matter of Korah. That's 14,700 more people on the second day, besides the ones who died yesterday. That's how many people are running their mouths and being stupid. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. It stopped. Thank God. If they didn't do something and do it fast, all of those people would be dead. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and take of every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers. Of all their princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write thou every man's name upon his rod. And thou shalt write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi. For 1 rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, that's before the ark of the covenant, where I will meet with you. So go do that, and then come back and meet me. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod whom I shall choose shall blossom, and I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. Meaning one way or another, I'm going to stop all of this bickering. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod, a piece, for each prince 1, according to their father's house, even 12 rods. And the rod of Aaron was among their rods. What's a rod? It's just a stick, about that long. Could be a staff, whatever. It's just a symbol of their house. And Moses laid up the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron, that's his brother, for the house of Levi was budded. It had started sprouting. Now this is a dead stick. They have carved it and it made a walking stick out of it. And this dead stick has started budding. It's got a new branch coming off of it. And brought forth buds and bloomed blossoms and yielded almonds. It was making almonds. So apparently this was once an almond tree's branch. And Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord unto the children of Israel, unto all of them. And they looked, and took every man his rod back. And the one who drew the short straw was Aaron. That means Aaron's the chosen one. The rest of you are not, so shut up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels. And thou shalt quite take away their murmurings from me, that they die not. See, God doesn't want to kill them. So this is just another attempt of him trying to save their lives. So they took Aaron's rod and put it in the Ark of the Covenant with a bowl of manna and the 10 Commandments. That's what's in there. If you want to know what's in the Ark of the Covenant, it's the rod of Aaron which budded, a bowl which used to have manna in it, and the 10 Commandments, the 2 stones that God wrote with his finger, the 10 Commandments. That's what's inside the Ark of the Covenant. That's all that's in there. And Moses did so, as the Lord commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moses, saying, Behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Calm down, you're not dead yet. Whosoever cometh anything near unto the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? And the Lord said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary. It's your job. Take care of the tabernacle. And thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. Meaning now you have to be priests also, just the Levites. See, God was trying to include everybody. Now he sees he can't do that, so now he's just choosing to include Levi, the house of Levi. And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness. And they shall keep thy charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also shall die. So you can't touch the things that concern sacrifice, but you can keep up the tabernacle and priest in it. And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you. No strangers. Nowhere near you. You can't even talk to them. Just stay to yourself. And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary, and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. As long as you do what I'm telling you to do now, I will not be angry anymore, and I will not kill anybody else among you. Well, obviously we know that he does, so obviously they didn't do their job. And behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. To you they are given as a gift for the Lord, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar. That means you get to keep all the money that comes in. And within the veil, and ye shall serve. I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. By the way, no strangers. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, Behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever. That means forever they will be handling the heave offering section of the whole sacrifice ordeal. This shall be thine of the most holy things. It's yours. Reserved from the fire. Every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be most holy for thee and thy sons. Meaning you'll always have something to eat. Don't worry. I got you covered. You got plenty of beef coming your way, or lamb, or whatever it is. In the most holy place shalt thou eat it. Every male shall eat it. It shall be holy unto thee. And this, oh, by the way, notice that God doesn't eat the sacrifices that are given to God, but the men do. It's like a holy dinner cooking. That's what sacrifice is. You cook dinner, you eat it. Only you're giving it for God. You should do that anyway. Say thanks over your food when you eat. Bless it and give it to God. That's a nice thing to do. You don't have to, but it's nice. God provided you food, you should bless it. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons, and to thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. Everyone that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the first fruits of them, which shall they offer unto the Lord, them I have given thee. The best of everything is yours. You have to do all this work, but the best of all of this is for you. So you get to dine like a king. You get to drink the best wine. You get well taken care of for your sacrifice of doing all this work. Keeping up with the tabernacle and all the sacrifices and, and also you'll make money by running the tabernacle. All the offerings will come to you. So you'll be well taken care of. It's a good trade. Good, honest, hard work, as it were. And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. You get the first ripe fruit also. That's pretty sweet. Everyone that is clean in thine house shall eat of it. You better be clean, though. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine, for you. Everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, that means everything that's born, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of men or of beasts, shall be thine. It's for you, all of it. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, that the firstlings of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem. That means you make a sacrifice and redeem them of their sins. And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shalt thou redeem, according to thine estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. 20 gerahs makes a shekel in the sanctuary. Maybe different elsewhere in the world, but that's what the value is here. But the firstlings of the cow, or the firstlings of the sheep, or the firstlings of the goat, thou shalt not redeem. They are holy already. You don't need to redeem them. Thou shalt sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shalt burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the flesh of them that shall be thine, as the wave breast, as the right shoulder, are thine. All the heave offerings of the holy things which the children of Israel offer unto the Lord, I have given thee. And thy sons and thy daughters with thee by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before the Lord, unto thee and to thy seed with thee. And that's where we're going to stop for today, ladies and gentlemen. 1820 is where we're going to pick up. That was something else. Okie dokie. Boys and girls, would you please, if you would, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you'll get notifications of when I'm going to be here. Smash that like button like it owes you money. God knows it owes me some. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Make them part of the family. Bring them into the fold. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confound me. Hey, confound yourself as long as you're thinking with critical thought. That's what I want for you. And if you love this ministry and you'd like to see us grow and reach more people and be a bigger influence on the internet and fight some of this evil that's coming obviously in our direction, won't you take a moment and contribute by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a blessing. It's a win-win situation. You're blessed. I'm blessed. Everybody's happy, and God sees that, and he will respond reciprocally. And I thank you greatly for your support and your blessings. And with that, I shall take your questions and comments. Diego, I'm ready, son. Fire away. How was that? Did you enjoy the read? Did you enjoy the lesson? Did you learn anything? Are you confused? Are you a little bit scared? I would be. Tell me what you're thinking. Amen, says April. Well, that's lovely. Let it be. Thus and so. Diego, you said you had questions. I think I have answers, and if not, I will go seek them out and find them for you. Let me get a little bit closer so you know I'm paying attention. Well, how about that? I'm looking at you. I got you in my sights. I'm paying attention. That's a little close. Back up. There we are. Ha 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 ha. I asked you this the last time we were together, and I think that you logged off before you heard me ask. Or maybe you got offended because you thought I was making fun of you, but that J-A-J-A-J-A, is that the same thing as me saying H-A-H-A-H-A? Like ha ha ha? Is that what that means? Because if not, I'm confused. Why all of a sudden is Israel being barraged with rockets? It's not all of a sudden, Kevin. Palestine and Israel have been at war since the beginning of time, since the period we're reading about now. This is the beginnings of that war. And you will see throughout the reading as we go on that there is a very clear separation of the people of God and the people against God. And it kind of goes, okay, Diego, thank you for that. Thank you for the clarification. I wasn't sure, but I thought that's what it meant. And as we go along, this separation will get worse and worse and worse. They literally have been at war with each other for thousands of years. Palestine is not a real country. It's an idea. You understand? They're fighting for something that does not actually exist. Where God gave Israel all of that region, that land is all theirs by the right of God. And the Palestinians aren't very happy about it. The Palestinians, the Muslim nation, as it were. Most of those nations are Muslim, though not all. But the war is Muslim and Christian. And now it's escalating a little. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but in the end times, there will be a battle, a final battle, where big armies will come together in a vast field called Megiddo. And it's right there in that area. And that's what we refer to as Armageddon, or the Army of Megiddo, or the Battle of Megiddo. Now, is that now? I don't think so, but it could be. We could be getting pretty close to that. But yes, they are having problems right now. And they have been wanting to go to war with each other for a while, but America has been stepping in between them. Well, now we have a president who isn't worth his weight in gold and couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag with boxing gloves on. And the world is taking notice, and you're going to see more things like this happening in more places because we don't have the balls to back up what we talk about now. It has gotten very bad in the last week, yes. I know all that. Just what got it really stirred up lately? Mostly Biden's policies and the people having more brazen attitudes because they know they can get away with it. See, with Trump, he said, don't do that or I'll bomb you. And everybody knew he was serious. Biden says, we got a transgender woman speaking in the House. And everybody feels that throughout the world round. Whether you like it or not, America is the world police. And right now, the police are asleep on the job. So you're going to see more of these things happening. It seems like that conflict has been going on since the days of the Old Testament. Yes, I just said that, and you're absolutely right. And it has been. And it's getting worse throughout. As we go along in the Bible, you'll see it get worse and worse and worse. It does not ever resolve. That is one situation that never gets solved in the Bible. It's continual. And to this day, it is still going on in one way or another. Those people hate each other. There's no reconciling. They will fight. Biden doesn't give a D about America or the Middle East situation of Israel. That's a fact. And that's why it's happening, because they know he's not going to do anything to stop them. And when we had Trump, they knew better, because if they stepped over the line, Trump would have bombed them. Biden's not going to, and they know it. So they're getting a little brazen. They're starting to shoot rockets at Israel now. Is Israel to blame? I don't know. I don't know enough about their situation to say that one way or the other. I don't know if they're in the right justly or not. I just know that this problem is not something that's new. It's been going on forever, and it'll probably continue to go on forever. Some people think Israel deserves it. I don't know who's right about that. I'm not invested in that situation, so. I would say, though, being that God blessed Israel and gave that land to them, that they probably are in the right. That is my opinion. That is not fact. Make your own decision about that. My opinion is they're probably in the right, because God blessed them with that land. It's rightfully theirs. So people that are trying to take it away from them should be in the wrong if that's the case. All right, Diego. You said you had many questions about the book of Numbers, this book that we're reading now, about Korath and his gang. Let me have it, buddy. I shall endeavor to answer your questions earnestly and rightfully so. I got a chink in my armor. Biden's new name is Sloppy Joe. Yeah. Oh, Sloppy Joe. It's even good with mayonnaise. Now, there's a thing that didn't hold up. I used to love Sloppy Joes when I was a kid, but I made some recently, and it was not good at all. I don't know what was wrong with my taste buds back then, but it's terrible. Or who knows, maybe they changed the formula or something. I don't know. I am officially out of cigarettes. I need to make some more. I'll get out my machine in a little while and work up some cigarettes. I have to work tomorrow. I just realized that. I've had 2 or 3 days off because my boss man had jury duty in Tennessee. So I got a couple days off. Now I got to go back to work. Get back to the grindstone. Make that money. Anybody got any questions or comments? Kevin, April, are y'all down with the sickness? Wah! By the way, have you heard that the CDC has finally said that masks are irrelevant now? If you have been vaccinated or if you have been sick, you no longer need to wear a mask. All right, Democrats, stop holding on to that mask for dear life. You're not going to get any more control out of it. Time to let that go. It was silly to begin with, and you've gone just about as far as America's willing to go with it. So now it's time to let go and do something different. What you think? I know I ain't never wore one, and I ain't gonna start anytime soon. The only time anything covers my face is when I'm riding my motorcycle. Then I'll wear a bandana, but that's it. And that's for protection, not for worry of COVID. That's to keep my face warm and to keep bugs from going in my teeth. There is a dude. Really? More than one? Whose name is Dan Barker. Okay? So Dan Barker. Dan Barker. He's the place to be. He was a former Christian pastor who is now a militant, God-hating atheist. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that seems to be the fate of some of them. I don't know why they do that, but I guess when they come across something they don't understand, rather than delving deeper to find the understanding, they just give up altogether and go the other way. I don't know why they do that. That seems kind of silly to me. I don't give up. My mama didn't raise no quitter. So what's he said? This Dan Barker. He is now the president of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. You were talking about them the other day. What's their deal? Are they causing trouble? Along with his wife. So they're both idiots then. Unloyal idiots who quit at the drop of a hat. First sign of trouble, they go a-running to the other side. I see what kind of people they are. Follow that? Never. Sometimes you just can't make people happy. Those kind of people remind me of the kind of people we were talking about tonight. People who see a little trouble or a little pain in the future, and rather than buckling down and getting tough and handling business, they go running, go questioning, go turning against God, turning against their people. They're not good people when they do that. You can't have that. You got to be strong. Got to stand up for what you believe in. There it is. His wife, who is also a Christian hater and blames Christians for slavery. What's that word? Is that seismic? What? Yep, that says seismic. What do you mean? And etc. What is seismic other than, earthquakes? Sexism. I got you. Well, where do you start? First of all, Christians follow Christ. the people who do slavery and sexism are not following God's word, so they are therefore, by definition, not Christians. So while they are people who do these things, they are not godly. And she is incorrect. She's looking for a scapegoat, somebody to blame. However, the people to blame are not God's children. Great read, Jake. Thank you, dear. I am grateful. And I felt it too. It was kind of special. He now badmouths Jesus and says he was an awful person, really. I'd like to see anything he suggests as an awful thing that Jesus did. Of all the things we have of recording that he did, all of them were humble and grateful and gracious and caring and nurturing and loving and a little bit weird. But never did he do anything hateful. The closest thing they could speak to was when he came into that temple and started turning over tables and whipping at people with a cat o' nine tails. But he was doing that because they were using God's house as a changing station. They were turning it into a den of thieves. They were using it as a marketplace. They were selling mite-infested birds for sacrifice. Not the first fruits that God asks for, but little half-dead animals in cages. That's not a sacrifice to God. So therefore, she's in the wrong again. These are not God's children. And Christ was just in his anger then. No other time did he do anything of any concern when it comes to being angry. I enjoyed it, except for the wicked pad talkers that try you. Bad talkers, I'm guessing you meant. Yeah, they try me, but they find out who I am. Wicked doers, I pray for them all. God's gonna get them for that. You, God, be the judge. Let God be the judge. That's right. He wrote a book called God, the most unpleasant character in all of fiction. And it was an idea he got from the evil Richard Dawkins, who is his friend and greatest supporter. LOL to the Sloppy Joe comment. Ha ha ha. Well, number one, God's not fiction. Number two, Richard Dawkins is a fool. And number three, anybody that follows that ilk or that line of thinking, you should ignore wholesale. They are nothing but poison. They will not help you learn anything at all, except for what not to do. That you might can learn from them. But anything else, I wouldn't have anything to do with those people. They're idiots. Bad-mouthing God is a sheer example of that. They, nor I, nor any Christian has ever had physical contact with God. Therefore, everything you're blaming on him can only be attributed to men, not God. What God does, he does in mysterious ways, and he does not interact with the world anymore. He hasn't for a long time. So, if he's blaming God for anything, he should probably look inward first. You know, sweep off your own back porch before you go bad-mouthing anybody else's. In that book, he twists scripture to make God look like an evil, diabolical, sexist, misogynistic bully. And therefore, say he doesn't exist. He mentions those passages where God kills people. Does he mention the part where the people deserve it? Or why God killed those people? And supposedly shows prejudice towards women according to him. Well, God made them, so I imagine he can treat them any way he wants to. They're his, male and female alike. God made man, and then he made woman as an helpmeet for man, meaning a helper, an assistant, a completion, if you will, meaning they're better together than they are separate. You understand? A woman has a place, and it's usually propping up a man. That's why God invented them. If that's sexist, I don't know what to tell you, but it has nothing to do with biblical law. So prejudice, you can't be prejudiced against your own things. It's your will to do with it as you please. It's only prejudice if it's somebody else's things and you hate it. That's prejudice. If it's your things, you could paint them red and call them ponies. It's your business. And we are God's things. Therefore, thus and so, he hasn't done anything wrong. And these people are fools for even looking in that direction. They shouldn't be. Maybe they should worry about their own sins instead of trying to attribute sins to the Father who invented all of this that we live in and have access to. And by the way, God could care less what these people think about him. And you shouldn't either. Focus your mind on the things you know do you good. This podcast is beneficial to you mentally, physically, and emotionally, and spiritually. Focus on that. Stop worrying about what these jackholes think. You know the world is full of sinners. You know it's full of evildoers. You know it's full of people who are against God. It's up to us to stand up to those people, to provide a unbreakable wall that they cannot penetrate, where Christians are on this side of the wall and sinners are on that side of the wall. And by sinners, I mean those people. All people are sinners, even Christians. But you know what I mean, the separation. Maybe that helps. All right. It is 10:05. He even wrote plays about the resurrection of Christ when he was a pastor. What disgusts me is the fact that he continues to receive royalties for his plays about something he now destroying. People's faith in God. Well, understand that if your faith is that strong, then he can't destroy it. He can only destroy it if you're weak to start with. You see, if you have strong faith in God, then no man can tell you anything that will break your faith. So keep your faith guarded and keep it strong by studying the Word of God, because you learn by mouth. You receive faith by speaking it and hearing it and seeing the results of it. Eyes to see and ears to hear and a mouth to speak and confess the truth. That's all you can do. He mentioned that story about Korah in his book, saying that Korah was just asking. I was just asking Moses a question. There was no malice behind it. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just trying to get something for nothing. Think about what you're saying here. Yeah, he was just asking questions about God who already answered him. He was asking vindictively. He was trying to mount an army against Moses. Remember, him and his people came up against Moses and Aaron? That means they were ready to fight them to take over the camp because they didn't like where Moses was leading them. And they got swallowed up by it, for it. He said Korah was not defying Moses. He just had a question for him when he asked why God only speaks through him, because God chose Moses because Moses was righteous. Korah was not. And Korah was jealous that Moses was getting all God's attention. Think about it. This guy's an idiot. He belongs right there with him. He's one of the people that God would have let the earth swallow up. Be wiser than the serpent, my friend. The serpent has many tricks to turn you from God. God only has one trick to keep you with him. And that's to tell you the truth and to lay it out. God's not the author of confusion and lies. So according to him, Moses and God were monsters because of how Korah died. Korah was innocent, and he did nothing wrong. Neither him nor his followers. They just trying to ask a question. Yeah. They were just trying to get away with nothing. They were just trying to take over. They were just trying to get God's attention. Well, they got it. They weren't so happy about it when they got it, but they got it. Therefore, God is an evil murderer for swallowing Korah and his sons. He wanted to burn them up right there on the spot. Swallowing them up was an afterthought. Korah did nothing wrong. Well, do you think Korah did nothing wrong? Did the Bible say Korah did nothing wrong? I thought it was pretty clear that Korah was in the wrong from the get-go. He shouldn't have been questioning God. He shouldn't have been trying to take over Moses' position. He shouldn't have been trying to lead the people astray when Moses was trying to lead them to the promised land. Because those were the very same people who wanted to go back to Egypt so they could get hamburgers. At least in Egypt we were taken care of and got fed every day. Yeah, we had to work and we'd get beat if we slowed down, but we ate every day. That's what he said. Well, he said something stupid. And I commend you for seeing it and recognizing it, knowing that it's stupid and knowing what the correct answer is. Everything you just wrote me all had a superimposed answer built right in. It's almost like you didn't say it, but it was there. It was implied. And that answer is, this guy's full of baloney, because obviously Korah was in the wrong and were his followers. In order to make God look like he is the most unpleasant character in all of fiction because he is evil. Well, God is not evil, but he did invent evil. I don't know why he did that. I suppose because without darkness, light has no purpose. Light can't shine in a void empty of darkness. So, God made a yin and a yang. Listen to the Chinese. They know something. Anyway, this man is an idiot. He doesn't deserve your time. Not one more word should you read out of any of his material. He's a fool, and God will take care of fools. God suffers no fools. Remember that. You stay on the straight and narrow and read your Bible and learn what it says. It will not lie to you. You have to read the whole thing, though. You can't just read one verse and expect to learn anything out of that. You have to stay vigilant. You have to read the context, the subject of the object. Without that, for example, I'll give you an example. In Thessalonians, where it talks about God bringing the people to meet him in a cloud and all that, people use that as a way to validate the rapture, right? But they miss the whole portion of Thessalonians before that, where Paul is telling his people to not be fools, to not be ignorant, to understand the truth that you cannot fly to save your souls. You see? Without the context, the message is void. Enjoyed it, Jake. I gotta go tend to the boys. Good night, God bless all, and I will see you Monday at 8:30. So Korah was not innocent, absolutely not. He was vile as the day is long, and he deserved everything he got, and probably more. And so did the people who followed him, because he was trying to turn them astray when God was delivering them to the promised land. He was defying Moses and God and had legitimate reason to punish him. Yes, he did. And April, I love you, honey. We'll see you Monday. See, I knew you wouldn't stay and talk about it. Kevin, it's okay. It's after 10, work tomorrow. Good night, y'all. Love you so much. Yeah, Kev, what's up with that, man? You said you had questions. I'm here. Let's question. You wanted to talk about Israel. Well, we did talk about it, so I guess you covered that. But hey, I got to work tomorrow too, so I'm going to go also. But I love you with all my heart. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at 8:30, where we will get into the New Testament with a much lighter set of subjects. Barker is lying. He is the son of the devil. I don't know if he's the son of the devil, but he's definitely sent by him. He is lying. That's a fact. You have no fear in trying to convince me of that, because I know if it ain't in the Bible, chances are it ain't true. All right, Diego. I love you, son. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, and bring some questions with you tomorrow. We'll answer some then, too. Folks, be of good cheer. Love one another. Take care of one another. Cherish your time together. It's important. Be honest. Speak the truth. Stand for something valuable and be that, and it will rub off on the people around you. Be honorable. If you say something, say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't promise things you can't make true. Thank you so much, Jake. God bless you. Thank you, sir. And God bless you too. Be careful. This world is full of pitfalls and full of people who will talk sweet nothings into your ear and take you right out of God's hands. And they revel in it. They cherish the idea. They want to hurt God. Why? Because God's the good guy. Be curious. Don't be scared to ask questions. Look under that rock that's on the ground. Find out what makes it tick. Open a book. Look, investigate, study, validate, learn the world you live in. It's been here a long time, a lot longer than you have been. Learn how it works. Learn what makes it go. You'll find that it will make your path through it a lot easier. But above all, more important than anything in this whole world, if you've learned anything, learn this. The most valuable thing that you can be and do and exist in is to just be